Buddy, please put your hands together for today's guest.
Give me notes ready. I'm not talking to you, I'm sorry. I'm
That's,
talking out loud.
that's okay. Everyone, put your hands together for today's guest. The incredibly, beautifully talented Wonky Tonk. There she is. There she is. She's here. Did it. Let me get out of the cave here. Oh yeah,
The world.
Wonky. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, there's more woos coming. All kinds of stuff happening right now. Wonky Tonk, thank you so much for being on the show. How have you been?
Hi.
Hi. Howdy.
I've been, I don't know. I haven't even used the internet. It feels a little, it's really cool to be into this world again and see how far you've come
Oh well,
and how far I've gone.
well, yeah. I mean, we've been working and grinding. I mean, that's the thing that I love about you is that you the grind never stops for you. You're always putting out new content. You're always, writing or doing something. You offer a lot to your fans, and it's just and of course you have such a unique approach to music, and I don't know you that well, but I know you. I feel like you have a unique approach to life as well, and I don't know. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for letting me. I was just saying, I don't like the internet, but you make me like the internet. Like, how cool is it that we can be these cool friends and we've never even like seen each other for real?
I know.
The internet's a cool place to make that happen. So thanks for having me back.
It is. Oh, of course, anytime, anytime. So you're not happy with the internet. What aren't you? What did the internet do to you, Wonky Tonk?
Do you know I live in my own world, and the internet is definitely a place that blows that up pretty easily. Because
Really?
it's the window to the whole world.
Oh
It's
yeah.
fine and beautiful, but it's kind of I have to siphon it, or else it's just like way too much, just way too much. So
Yeah.
I don't prefer having just these conversations. So it's really nice to use the internet to have these siphoned conversations, and then whatever we talk about, then it's like, oh, have you heard of this? Did you talk about this? Then I can use the internet to find it. But if
Hmm.
I'm wild in the internet, I'm drowning.
Yeah.
So much.
What is it about it? I mean, is it just it's just like sensory overload, or it's just bad news, or like I'm curious what it is about it that's just too much for you.
I feel like I'm such a sensitive person. You just kind of open yourself up to everyone. It's like being in a giant, like in a club 24/7 and just feeling everything all the time. So it's
Hmm.
it's just this part, and it's often a lot of people talking and not listening so well because it's not really made to listen unless you enter into these moments.
Right.
So just that. It's not been as terrible as I'm saying, but
No.
I
Well,
I have been disconnected.
well, it is as terrible as you say. It is a horrible place. I mean, it really is sort of like it really is affecting people, and it seems to be affecting a lot of people in a negative way. It really does seem like whether you're comparing yourself to some IG model, or if you're on Facebook and you're seeing your neighbors going on vacation looking happy, and you're maybe prone to loneliness, or you like to be to yourself, that could that can cause real harm to people, and it really is affecting children in a terrible way, whether it's young boys with the pornography, or it's the young ladies who are have that they're bringing self-esteem down, and trying to obtain, like, and the filters with the faces, and like there's filters that make your lips look full and your cheeks look perfect, and like there's young ladies out there who are like, I can't look like that. It's like it's like, when Photoshop came around and magazines were still the way that people sort of consumed entertainment and music, or not music, and news and information. That had a lot of effect on people as well. Airbrushing, just making people look better than they actually do. That had a big effect on young people. But now it's it's just like it's right on your feed, it's in your phone, it's in your pocket, it's in your hand all the time. You're constantly seeing it in your face, and it's such a it does seem like it is harming these kids. I mean, not to start out all bummer it out, but like, the fact that there's young children taking their own lives right now, is a very sad sentiment. And there's a lot of evidence pointing to the internet and social media specifically. So,
Definitely. I think, but taking that out of the boomer realm of just like one of the things I've been trying to do in my life is weave. And so you take something like the internet and you weave it into your real life, and
mhm.
and instead of putting your life into avatar world, that might not necessarily be avatar, but internet just perfection filter world, this kind of thing where there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I remember, I mean, big time, I grew up in super duper, mm, not the greatest realms, and I remember that television was the only thing that I swear saved my life, because it was a window into a world that existed, that it wasn't like this was an ideal. It was like, oh, there's something other than what I'm doing.
Mm.
And that really helped me to I mean, even just like, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air going to college
Yeah.
or something, where I was like, "What's college?" I wouldn't have ever known a lot of things on how to operate in life had it not been for television. And
Yeah.
at that point, I think that's probably a little bit of how the internet is, and we just have to weave it back and forth. But
Mm.
that being said, the internet for me, especially in music, because people always try to put me in musician world, and I'm just like, that's not what I'm doing. I love music, but you put me in that world and people are just going to give me this befuddled look every time, and it doesn't feel good. And the internet's hard like that, because once it gets like a tag, it's like in this space only, and it's hard. So I just kind of have disconnected in order to figure out how to weave in my own life before I get back on the internet. And then now it's like, Mike, he's somebody that I feel comfortable on the internet with. And it's like, thank you for being someone I can be like, hey, you want to talk, because this is a safe space.
It absolutely is.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! Yes, indeedly doodly. No, that's beautiful. So I mean, like you're still putting out content once in a while, and you're using it as a sort of a as a medium for you to share your art with the world. So how have you sort of regulated your relationship with internet and social media? What sort of steps have you taken?
Oh gosh. That's a great question. Thank you.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
mostly I'm a cold turkey kind of gal. And
Me too.
it's like it's just like just cut it out, and then when you start to need it, figure out what it is and choose, kind of like when you go on like a food detox, like cut it all out and then you add one thing at a time, and you don't realize like, holy shit, that I don't know, not Twizzlers. I learned that Twizzlers had gluten, and that blew my mind. But just, you find a particular food and you're like, this is the reason I've been feeling so shitty all the time. I had
Mhm.
no idea. And so to pinpoint what it is about the internet that I don't enjoy, and it's kind of like, I love it to learn, but I don't like it to, um, it's one thing, like I announced that I was retiring Wonky Tonk, right? And that was
Mhm.
sort of the last thing that I said about on the internet. And as I found that, like, Wonky Tonk has become my superhero woman, but the internet is a whole different animal, and sort of like, to people are not hungry for it takes a while to chew things, right? And we don't have time to chew. And so Wonky Tonk is like, you got to chew on that shit for a while. Uh, and so recognizing that, then I'm like, all right, well, how do you, I don't know why I keep doing this, but I'm doing it right
It's
now.
okay. We can see you doing it, so it's nice.
I know.
You're expressing yourself. It's fine.
It's a circle. I'm in a circle. We've been doing these meditations is this meditation of like focus. So I think maybe that's what it is. But the steps that I took were cold turkey, and then just sort of thinking, what does the internet want of these things, instead of trying to throw like, well, if I put this out here, maybe people will understand, and then not feeling understood, and then feeling more shitty because my art didn't do what it was supposed to do, but instead creating more visceral relationships in my real physical life. And that's caused me cutting out the internet and sort of putting out content in that way for right now, not forever. There's a shit ton in the like ready. We just have to open the door. So it's about listening to where that is and which door to open so they can all have their best life. But internet wise, I'm just like, I don't even really need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. Because I can talk to people. And then it's just like eventually, then it's like, how do you it's a different medium. If I'm trying to sing a song, I'm not going to bring a pen and paper and that's it. There's only so far you can get. It's the wrong instrument. And I think right now I realize that the internet became the wrong instrument for what I was trying to do for right now. And so just be like, all right, I'm switching instruments for a while, That's all. There's those steps of sort of reframing. We talked about that last time, I think, a lot of reframing. Can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm recalling seeing your face and talking about that.
Well, I mean, you gotta do that every once in a while, right? Like you can't just
Yeah.
stay in the same groove forever. You start making a rut, and then you're just sort of stuck in it, and then it doesn't feel good. I feel you though. I
Yeah.
mean, like I kind of did that with live performance because I was grinding so hard, with just gigging all the time, and then the pandemic and all that shit, and then I really fell in love with the pod doing. I mean, I've always liked doing my podcast, but like I actually fell in love with uh, Twitch and growing the show and making it something more and constantly trying to build upon it. And I was just realizing that playing live is just it takes a lot out of me, and I don't have that much energy to expend. So I've sort of cut it out, and I've been sort of turning down projects. I still play with my wife and when we do stuff, but she's slowed down a lot too with that as well. And it's been really nice. It's been nice not to have to hustle and bustle and go out to, be at the club until 2 a.m. and wrestle your shit out and fight through the drunks and just the whole thing. So I definitely feel like that reframing thing is something that needs to happen. Everybody needs to take that. It's funny that life sort of forces you sometimes to reframe. Don't you think? Like sometimes you just gotta like
You got to, or else that's like, if you don't reframe, we're gonna burn the whole painting. Which one you want?
right.
For real.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you said you retired the Wonky Tonk, or you're going to. What is that still something that's in play right now? Are you still going to retire the Wonk?
I was thinking when I said it, what an interesting word to use. It's not like I'm quitting Wonky Tonk. It's that I'm retiring Wonky Tonk. And then I was like, is that really what I want to do? It's like, there are people that come out of retirement all the time.
Yeah, how many goodbye farewell tours have like the Stones done, or like Bob Dylan or
Right.
something, right? It's like, we're gonna say
Yeah.
farewell this time. A couple years later, oh, Fish, like, we're done. Farewell. Hey, guess what? We're back. Farewell again. You can do it as much as you
Yeah.
want. I mean, that's the good thing about life, is that especially your own creations in life, you can always come back and revisit it. It doesn't have to be anything. Nothing's finite. Art doesn't have to be finite or done a certain way, and this is the rules, right? Like, these are the rules, I have to follow the rules. It's not like that. The beautiful thing about art and expression is that there is no fucking rules, and you could do whatever you want as long as you're doing it with passion and you're not just sort of half-assing or calling it in. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people, is that they, again, get sort of stuck in ruts, and then it turns into sort of a hindrance more than an expression of love and life.
Right? I think I'm really into the word ritual, and and it's such a, also, I'm just saying, I've been waiting on a FedEx package, and it might be this, so I might have to run, but
That's totally fine. Do your thing.
Real life is real.
It's real, baby.
And,
This is real. We're out here doing it, living it, breathing it. This is how it is.
So good.
Yeah.
I think retirement is important. Like, sometimes you just have to be like, enough is this cold turkey thing again, where you're just like, I'm like, something's got to change. And it's not, I've tried to be changing it in motion with what we're doing, but it's not working. So right now I just have to be like, I got to hang that suit up and look at it from afar. Like, what is that lady doing? But in that way, also creating, we've been talking about it, and I'm creating my new Wonky Tonk is Major Darlin. And Major Darlin is Wonky Tonk's Ziggy Stardust.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. It's a whole other world. I think it's him. Hold on.
Get it.
Sorry. You can talk about something.
You can talk about some. Oh, yeah. No worries, Naders. Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you later. You're probably not here. Listen, this is real life, y'all. We got dogs. We got FedEx packages. We got retirement.
It came. Woohoo!
Let's go. What is it? Can you tell us?
Yes, it's a cell phone.
Yay. Did you lose your cell phone?
This is I'll just tell you about it.
Sure.
I had my phone and it got ran over by a car, and somehow only the camera lens busted, and the camera still works all right, but Apple and its great capitalism created the whole back of it, the thing. So if anything breaks, you have to replace the whole damn thing. And luckily, not luckily, Apple Care, you can do it. So I just had to fill out some shit and pay $100, and so they sent me a whole brand new phone, and I just give them my old one. So, but it's been stuck because it got stuck in the ice storms, and so it's just been stuck in Pennsylvania for days, and the FedEx was like, I have to sign for it, so I've been waiting to be here. So thank you, sorry.
No, you're okay. This is real life. This is how we're doing it. Sometimes your phone gets ran over by a car or a truck or whatever. Yeah. The cold turkey thing, man. That's one of my strengths that I really like about myself, is that I'm able to sort of step away from something. Although right now I'm really trying to get better at my food health. Like, I'm back into like weight training, and cardio's always been a constant for me, but like ever since I started cooking at a retirement home, I've been just eating everything, just every fucking thing I make. It's like, I don't know, cooks. We have plenty of healthy cooks at our job, but it's just, I gotta slow it down. So the hardest thing for me to do is, like, I was able to walk away from drugs and alcohol cold turkey. I've been able to, I've been able to quit pornography cold turkey, although I'm not doing so great these days. But I've been able to do all these things very much cold turkey, and I don't know. I feel like it sucks for a while, but like your body gets used to it, and you start sort of creating new patterns, right? Like, you create new patterns in your head, and you're able to navigate that after a while, and after a while it doesn't become a problem at all. You're not thinking about it. You're just going, and all the benefits that come with it. I know it's not easy for everybody, but it's definitely one of those things that uh, I feel like if you can do that, you should. I mean, except for alcohol. I know alcohol for some people, quitting cold turkey will actually kill them. But still, the idea of just quitting things cold turkey, like the internet, like I feel like the internet has such a hold on me. I don't know. I mean, I could do it. I know I could do it, but it's just oh my god. Like thinking about it makes me fucking anxious. Is there anything else that you've ever had to quit cold turkey besides the internet?
Oh gosh. Psh, everything I've ever done.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
It's
you want to
it's
expand on that?
a little bit. I think
Sure.
I think some things I think the reason I do things cold turkey is that I am I've been calling it lately that I'm Charles Darwining myself. And
Okay.
so I'm just like taking notes and singing songs and listening to those songs and going, "Huh, I had no idea you felt that way, Jasmine," and learning to listen a lot more intently at what I'm doing and mostly unconscious, which is beautiful when you're an artist because you get to go back and sort of listen to the things that fall out and then learn from them. And I think the cold turkey happens is that I mean, if you've quit anything, you've been thinking about it for a while. And sometimes I'm just like, I would much rather gather all of my things, um, whether they be physical or not, that are my guides or my help. So I'm just like, I'm ready to quit. So when I quit, I'm going to have all of the resources I possibly need and then some. And a lot of times I don't have them all, but I have like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it. And so I got to have my cabinet stocked with whatever or when you're doing a detox or your instruments all around and nobody else like the to set yourself up. That's one thing I've been learning without the internet and just in my life is that it feels hard, but really all we're supposed to do is create the conditions for us to succeed, right? We don't have to do the succeeding, but we create the conditions so we can. So set yourself the fuck up so when you do, so you can quit cold turkey in certain ways. Like and when you do that, you're quitting because you know you need to for right now. And there's an intention there, not just, oh gosh, this is bad and I know I shouldn't do it and I should do something else, but I don't know what that would be. It's like you gotta know what that next thing is so you can quit and move on.
Hmm.
And a lot of what's happening is that's causing me to go backwards in a lot of cool ways, like not falling backwards, but going back to sort of moments that I might not have done so well in quitting or leaving. And these things that are 5 years old, 10 years old, songs are coming up that are just like, wow, what a cool moment and a portal in time to then of like the lessons that I almost learned. And I just needed a little bit from now to go, oh, now I can close that door and move the fuck on.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's a weaving, but I think that quitting cold turkey is more of not so much of a sever, but it's like an energetic like oomph. It's the Sonic the Hedgehog, it's the gold thing that makes you go faster,
Yeah.
you know? It's
Yeah.
like this gives you that little extra energy so you can freaking believe to do it. But food wise, you should at least just drink more water every
Oh.
time that you're
Yeah.
eating all those things. Like just make yourself chug a glass of water every time you eat, and then you're gonna be like, I'm not doing this
Oh,
no
I
more.
I drink a lot of water. I don't drink like juice or
Good.
anything. Like it's like the only thing I drink. And like sometimes I'll drink a Diet Coke, but only because it gives me a buzz. And sometimes it's nice with like disgusting fried food. But the thing right
Yeah.
now is sugar, and like that's the biggest one, right? Like I'm just ugh. And for me, I've always had a problem with weight, so it's like one of those situations where I like to go in, and food is like a very comforting thing for me, and like eat your feelings. That's me. I'm great at it. I can just sit there and eat the shit out of my feelings. But it's not healthy, and I don't like it, and I don't like growing out of my clothes. I don't like that I came here from California, a certain weight that I was, not even, I wasn't even happy with that weight, but it was like the best shape I've been ever in my entire life, just to sort of let myself, get back to something I didn't like. And it's just, it's that time, it's the time to stop doing it. So I haven't been eating sugar. It's been like a few days, I'm a few days in. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm done with sugar, I'll have a day off or a weekend off. And I'll be like, fuck it, I'm going in, yum, yum, yum. So and it doesn't help that I work at like a very nice place
Yeah.
where I have like lots of good and decadent food around me at all times. It's like, it's like trying to quit crack, but you're working at the crack house or something. You live in a crack house and you're trying to quit crack, and it's hard. It's not a great way to do it. But the only difference is that food is a necessity. Crack is not a necessity. Food is. Crack is not. So it's this thing. I've always struggled with it. It's just one of those situations where you got to take control. And by living in this area of the world, and are you still down in Kentucky? Are you still down there? I mean,
Yeah.
so we're not too far from each other, and you know how it. Well, the thing about Kentucky, you guys got like mountains and shit down there, so it's nice. But up here in Toledo, we have straight flat land, and it's just cornfields as far as the eye could see, and it's just not very inspiring to get out and walk and stuff or doing that. But I have a gym. I live in an apartment complex that has a gym on site, which I've used. But now I'm actually really using it. It's hard for me to like get it moving all the time because I want to be dormant. I like being inside. I don't like going outside. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home, and I go to work, I come home, and I do work from home. So it's I don't know, this part of the world creates a space for people to balloon. But I don't know. I know that you're like you're pretty health conscious. Yeah, Father Novice. You're health conscious, and have you always been that way? Have you always been someone who's been very much, concentrating on their health and, being healthy?
Hmm. Yeah, that's ever since I was about 12 years old, definitely. And you know what that was? The gift of the internet. That helped me to be for real. I got to learn about all kinds of shit. And it's when I learned about just factory farming and hormones and food additives and
Ugh.
just sort of the state of the world in general. And that was before our shit hit the fan big time.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're eating now, but yeah, it's been a necessity because as a me and as a woman and in the world, I think I grew up, my dad very much like, if there's something wrong with you, you go to the doctor, you know nothing. Like the doctor knows everything. And
Yeah.
those doctors put me on all kinds of things that hurt me even more. And it just became this perpetual state of sickness and harm. And so having to learn about my own body and about health and what feels good. And I'm in that place right now. I mean, it's been a hard fuck. Like when we first met, it was right when I got back from Ecuador. Um, and I feel like my life has been not on pause, but in the weeds and in the roots and in the mud and dealing with a lot of knots and undoing them all. And it's not pause. My life has definitely not been on pause, but it has been not my own. And so for the last 2 years, I've not been very well in all of those things. And I'm in that similar space as you. I even wrote it down. It's like no more refined sugar whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
Just feeling the different, because being like, I've been having headaches lately, and I had a little bit of sugar. I can't remember even what I put it in. Oh, lemonade. And I started having a huge headache, and I just like, you know what? Maybe this is it. Like, just give yourself a week and see if that's a headache, because it's totally worth not eating that sugar if you're not going to have a fucking headache every single day. That's blinding.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's hard. It's hard to get the momentum going. It's, I mean, you'll think about a rock, or start your car. First gear is fucking the hardest gear, man. Like, you got to get everything just right for it to get going.
Yeah.
But that's why you gotta gather all the tools and then believe in why you want to start moving, and just like keep going, so then it can start rolling. Because even then, when it's rolling, doesn't mean you have to stay in that. You just use that momentum to then do something else. You're allowed to change once that happens. It's just like, but it is this part of the country is fucking brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
It is. It really is. It's one of those places, man. Like where like it just it affords people the space to, especially in the winter, right? Like especially right now, where uh, it's 19 degrees out right now for me, and for our friend Bon Bon, our your lady friend Bonnie, it's negative 41 degrees where she's at
Yeah.
in Canada.
Holy
So,
guacamole.
so like when the world freezes over and literally is trying to kill you by stepping outside, you really your stagnation is something that's sort of forced upon you. So it's like you got to keep yourself moving, and man, this winter has been just it hasn't been brutal as in weather-wise, but just the season. It's just been a sad season for me. Just just problems with family and stuff, and just
Yeah.
that shit just brings me down so hard. So it's been one of those, like, you know how it starts, right? Like you get into the cycle, and then you're sad, and then and then of course me, I'm just eating my feelings, and then it just keeps snowballing until it ends up, until you either submit, or you stand up and you say, hey, no, fuck you, you're not gonna get me this time, motherfucker. Like, which where I'm at right now is like, I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm gonna start doing squats. Okay, motherfucker. I'm gonna start bench pressing again. I'm gonna fucking, I'm gonna do the, like, I'm gonna move my body and like get it back to where I was. And because I know I can. I've done it several times, and it is possible to do it. And it was just been a dark winter for me. But I don't know, how's your winter going? Is there sunshine? I know you're talking about quitting refined sugar, but like, has everything been okay for you? I mean, how you been feeling? Like, you
Oh
doing okay?
man, well, I mean, shit's been rough.
Yeah.
My mom is now a felon, so that's very exciting.
Oh.
And there's like 1,000 other things that are heavy and wild and what the fuck.
Yeah.
Um, Heavy and wild and what the fuck. But I know I'm just listening to you talk, and I think just jumping into our reframing for a second, it's
Sure.
like, I think part of the momentum and why it's hard to start things again, to begin again, to begin again, and to begin again, because we're always fucking beginning again. God fucking damn it. Can't I just like do this? It's like, no, like, this is what you do. I mean, there's seasons for a reason. It's like we have winter for a reason, and we're allowed to have that in ourselves, but to not get stuck there.
Yeah.
But I think you just even saying like, I want to get back to my bot like the way I was, and it's like, just even reframing that, I've been trying to just say, I'm getting back to myself,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I've been in stagnation and like sort of boundaries, and just like walling off all of the things that hurt so I can just heal on the inside. But while doing that, it's like you're working on healing yourself while also pushing the stuff away and closing your eyes, and it's hard to do. So you have to just kind of be like, I'm also coming back into myself so I can stand here and look at all that and it's like, not mine, not mine, not mine, not mine, doing this shit,
Yeah.
because you're just like back to yourself, not the way you were. Where you were didn't work, because you're here now.
Yeah.
Like, it did work also because you're here now, but now you're just who are you? Where are you? Where's the center of like what you're doing? Because that's the hardest part is just like it's dark. It's dark out there and it's dark inside and it's also beautiful and there's so much to create and do and to share. And I think sometimes I find when I'm just by myself, I'm the safest because I know my own domain, but at the same time, there's a whole fucking world out there. And when I venture out, yeah, there's a lot of burns, but there are freaking tons of angels and really cool, just like people that want to share and want to help and want to create and want to dance and that are doing all those things. And it's like, cool. Yeah, I do want, and I'm freezing all of the time. So like, I don't when I the whole time I was in Ecuador, I didn't take my well, not the whole time. Every time I was not in sunshine, I still had my winter coat on. I was in my winter coat forever. I'm fucking freezing forever and ever. And so it makes it hard to do anything else too. And then you just like are burying yourself from the cold and also then from your body. And then I'm not moving and then I'm not listening and then I'm not doing. And then what the fuck am I doing? I'm just in the dark. So I recognize it. It's been a hard winter, but I think it's also just like these moments to even it be dark, but these moments of light, and then to have little dreams in this moment of being like, oh shit, we've created so much music and material that hasn't been released, and there's so much more being created, and it's a lot of like waiting for the moment that it's medicine time, like sometimes you give somebody a gift and it becomes garbage because they're not ready for that gift yet, but if you waited just a little bit longer and you gave it to them, it's like the best medicine they could have ever had. And I think it's a lot of the art that we're making right now and just like letting that also take its time. Some of the things just take the good stuff takes long, but you have to not give up on it. And that's hard when you're just like, I know when I plant things, I'm terrible at plants, mostly because I'm never in one place, but also just like planting a seed, I'll be like, shit is not growing. I must have did something wrong. And then I'm always like, just at a certain point, then I'll be like, did I even plant a seed? Did I make this all up? And then it's like, do I need to dig this thing up to see if I could find a seed? Even if I dug it up, it'd be really hard to find the seed. Could I know what the seed looked like? What if it's just taking root and then I just kill it before it's, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just leave it alone and water this thing and just like imagine that I didn't fuck it up and maybe one day it'll work. And sometimes little green things come out, and it's like, oh shit, okay. It takes a really long time for just the let alone a big fucking thing that's taken root to change or to grow for the rest of your life. There's a lot, and I'm glad that you do this show, and that's a thing that you have been falling more in love with. And that, like for me, when I left Ecuador, I said no more bars. I don't want to play this stuff anymore. Every song I played tasted like a falling down angry drunk look like, you just play through the night and you watch it happen, and it just makes your music feel like that inside of you because you're weaving it in your DNA. And it's like, that's not what I'm doing. And so good on you. I mean, live music, I love live music, but to put it in a space, like when I was in high school, I love basement shows. It's my favorite place ever. It's like fucking punk rock basement shows. Like that is where it's at. It felt like church. And it's just like to play these bars where no one cares and they're just getting drunk, and you're there to get paid and you're there to play. But man, we're artists. We're also there to like connect, and it's really hard to do. And that's not what people want to do. They just want to disconnect and numb out. And that's to find something like your show and to allow yourself to keep coming back to that right now. Like we need anything at all to just keep going and not to clutch onto, but to create from. And you're doing that, and I'm doing that, and we're doing this, and all of your people in the chat lands. It's awesome. I'm excited that, I mean, these little pockets of us trying is the only thing that gets us the momentum there, and those rocks, like the gears not all the way rusted into oblivion, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's all right, we can keep starting. That's what we do.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
every morning, you know?
Hell yeah. Get up and just and get at it. Spring always comes. Yeah, that's true, Bonnie. Spring will come, and it's like the dark gray winter, and then out comes the sunshine, and then up comes the green grass, and the leaves come back, and you can sort of, you know, join. It's that rebirth. It's the thing about seasons that are great is that, you know, everything dies and then comes back, and you know, it's just sort of a rebirth all around us, and we get to sort of envelop that. But like when you live in places like California, which I absolutely love California, but you know, there's so much sunshine out there. There's so much. I, it's like people are just based in the sun, and they don't. I don't know. I find a lot of people in when I was living in San Diego, I found a lot of people who were just sort of oblivious to what the struggle of a four seasoned, you know, piece of the world is, you know, and it's and there's something that's to be said about, you know, digging your fucking car out of the snow, or you know, walking in, you know, negative 41-degree weather because your car is broke down and you got to go get some fucking groceries. So you got to walk to the store in shit town and in your shit weather. And, you know, it builds a certain amount of character and resistance. And I feel like out in California, there's a lot of people out there who are just not equipped for resistance. And, you know, I love California. I have a lot of California friends. My wife, I met in California. She's this fucking Cali girl. So it's you know, I'm not shitting on people in California, but I did find that a lot of people out there have they have a hard time with resistance, and you know, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I really did. But I'm glad to be back. For the most part, I still hate the winter. I just don't like it. I don't like being
Me
cold.
neither.
But I saw that you were out in Cali not too long ago, right? Is that a few months ago?
Yeah, I was out there for work.
Yeah.
Lots of work things, which I'm grateful for.
What kind of work, if you can say it?
I'm a tour manager for an artist
Oh.
who um, tours tours over yonder and everywhere. So, and it brings me to places like sunny California,
Hmm.
which it's a beautiful place. I think there's those two sides though. It's like the resilience, but then the part about us on this side is like we don't give ourselves enough compassion because we've been built on so much resistance. You know, it's like, oh,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, can't be that soft to myself. I can do this hard shit. It's like, we don't have to always do that though, you know?
Yeah, it's okay to have some leisure in life. It's
Yeah,
fine.
or
It's
just some like eat. That's part of what Major Darlin is about is it's at ease. At ease, Major Darlin,
mm,
is this whole thing of what I'm trying to. And then the other day, I've been having all these skeletal issues, and I just saying to myself, like, how do you stand up straight, Jasmine? How do you stand up, Major Darlin?
mm,
And it's like, at ease. At ease. That's how you stand up. That's
yeah.
like, if you're fighting all the time or fighting off all the time, everything's so tight. But to like stand up is to surrender, like to where you are, what you are, and just like stand in it and feel what that feels like, and move forward because I'm all twisted up. And the more I keep moving twisted up, the more fucked shit gets,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and sometimes we just need to just like let go and listen instead of just like trying to make it work again. It's like, well, maybe it's not going to work again and it's not supposed to, and there's something else. It's like, there's always something else. But it is the resistance. We were talking about that with people from Texas. But right now, I mean, that's a big thing happening with all of the ice in Austin again.
Yeah.
Some wild shits. It's we can all help each other. But it's a different. I liked California, really beautiful, but it is and also foreign in a lot of ways
Mm,
because people have that very different way of life that
yeah.
is just sort of untouchable because it's somewhere else. It's one of those like lots of wings but no roots, and it's
Mm,
like you
yeah.
gotta balance the shit out, you know.
Yeah, for sure. No, you're absolutely right about that. There is something unrooted out there, and it is a lot of transient people going through there. Not just homeless. There's a lot of homeless people out there, but also it's just like a lot of people going in and out, and it's a beautiful place. But man, it's just I'm not there. I'm not. My heart's not in there anymore. I mean, I was really upset by having to come back to Ohio. That's for sure. I did not want to come back here, but it's like what we're saying is like sometimes life makes you reframe, and in that moment I was forced to reframe my life, and as I started realizing what was going on, I realized my purpose of coming back here and why it needed to happen. And like when I got back here, I was able to help like some family members who were really sick. I was able to help take care of them, and they're like these very special women that helped raise me. Essentially, I was able to like help usher them into the next dimension of existence. So it was like it was a very tough time, but it was when you look back at it, it was a very very beautiful thing that I was able to come back and share these people's last moments with them, because otherwise I would have just been out in California living my Cali life, doing struggling to pay exorbitant amounts of rent money on rent, and just to live out there is just so stressful. It's so stressful. So to come back here and it was like a weight that was lifted off my shoulder, even though I was sort of taking on more weight. But it was fulfilling, and now I'm here, and my family's here, and I can't I can't complain too much. But it's what happens. But the Texas thing, the fact that Texas is freezing over is such a strange occurrence. Like we are in like the world is in such a tumultuous state right now, and to think that uh a place like Texas, which I love Texas, I have roots in Texas. Like I got family in San Antonio, and my mom's from Mexico, and they have a lot of family. So I have family down near Brownsville and stuff like that. So I have lots of roots down there, and I absolutely love Texas. And I don't care what people say. I know there's some weird stuff weird thinking down there, but it's people are so fucking kind down there. Did you tour down to Texas as well?
Yeah, Texas. We're moving to Texas this spring. It's my favorite place of all the time. All of it.
Oh,
So good.
yay! Where are you moving? Austin?
Yeah. No, it's a place called Conroe.
Hmm.
It's near Houston World
Oh,
more
okay.
so than Austin World. Yeah.
Sweet.
But
Sweet.
I do. I said the same thing. It's like on one of my biggest the first tours I ever did, I remember like doing this whole solo tour. It was either I don't I don't know why these numbers are so random in my head, but it's either 76 or 83. One of those how many days I was out. And it
God
was
damn.
like they had never done it before, and I remember going from the touring up and over and down through New Mexico and then through West Texas and going to Amarillo.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of nothing, man. And I played a coffee shop, and I went into this coffee shop, and there was just a bunch of Texas lesbians. It was amazing. And then I was like, I didn't know there were lesbians in Texas. I thought like everyone just was shooting each other. I don't know. The things that they make Texas out to feel like or be
Yeah.
scared of. It was like, and ever since then, I remember this man opened up the door. He wasn't a man, he was a tall boy with a hat. He said, "Ma'am." I was like, I love Texas. And then every place I've ever been there, I've just met more and more people like I've traveled around and I meet moments of people and it's great, but in Texas, everyone I meet, they're just like long lost family. It's
Yeah.
and the way that they love music, I always say the blood of a songwriter is in the Texas earth. Like
Wow.
something about it is really just there. And that was the one thing too. It's just like you go to a CVS and a song comes on the radio, people grab each other and start two-stepping, you know? It's just like you can't stop. Music is real. So yeah, I love Texas.
Oh, me too, man. I'm with it, man. I am so with you there. Like the people there are just it's like everything. It's like everything that I wish California could be in that sense of like community, and then also the awesome weather.
Yeah.
But like, and like Texas has some trying weather. I mean, like you're saying, it's freezing over in Texas, and in the summer, it's brutal in the summer. But it's still, again, it's not bad to have seasons, right? But but the people there are just fantastic. Naders, he's back. Uh, the Texas has a quality to it that I've just never experienced anywhere else, and the fact that I have roots there it makes me proud. It makes me proud that I have family there, and that I can go there when I go there and be welcome there. And I don't know. I'm gushing over Texas right now. It's like people. It's funny, like you were saying, like they'll make you think that Texas is some kind of hellscape where fuck it, it's just like a bunch of cowboys kicking shit and beating up a gay guy or something. Like they're just out there beating up people and shooting and the whole thing. But it really is a welcoming place. I mean, obviously there's terrible people that live there, but there's terrible people everywhere. So I mean, that's just part of life.
Everywhere.
And so you just gotta,
Yeah.
but it really is one of those things where you just, if you go down there and you sort of embrace the culture and sort of let yourself, relax in the culture, you're gonna find amazing people and amazing things. And I agree with the music thing, man. I just the music, the love of music down there is so awesome. And I mean, like, especially like you have places like Austin where it lives and breathes music. I've never done any gigs in Dallas or Houston or any of those places, but like I've done gigs in San Antonio and Austin or experience live music in those places. So it's like that people really do come out and they really do want to just live in those moments. And then go Texas. All my exes live in Texas. Is that true, Naders? That's not, you're not just reciting the song. All your exes. It's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
Hmm. So have you been then? You said you didn't want to do the bars anymore. What kind of gigs have you been doing, or have you been sort of taking a break from gigging?
I really have left it out to the universe and whoever asks me, um, instead of seeking things out, because it's it's an interesting feeling because it's been just all all kinds, a veritable multitude of different things that we've played, but we haven't been playing out that often. But it is at least one or two shows a month, which is awesome, and that's something I never used to do. But that's also just been this really, um, yeah.
Robbie, thank you for resubscribing. 15 months. Good Lord. Thank you so much, man. Wow, it's been 15 months,
Wow.
Robbie. You're a trooper, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
he's
so much.
that's amazing. That's a long time to do anything.
Bro. It doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense. We're coming on 3 years of streaming, and then the podcast itself is.
Whoa.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, well, we're coming on 3 years of streaming in April, and then or May or June, whatever. Who cares? But then like the podcast itself is coming up on like 8 or 9 years, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Like it's nice to be committed to such a weird and fun thing to do, and the fact that people are coming along with me is wild. And Robbie is one of our wonderful mods here who is always helpful and kind. And everybody, go give Robbie some love. Go watch his videos. He has videos of him underwater, deep sea diving and shit. And has a sports podcast. So get yourself some Robbie in your life. This
Yeah, I
month,
can't wait to check out Robbie.
oh yeah, I love the podcast world of Twitch. Yeah, wait, so this month I have 300 episodes in 7 years. Hell yeah, Robbie, let's go, let's go. Hold on.
What? Yeah!
There we go. We got shit happening. Uh, so you've been sort of taking a break, and you're playing out with a band, or are you working? How do you? What's your setup right now for gigging and stuff?
Oh boy, that's also just swirling around. It's in the past when I started Wonky Tonk, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just did anything. and and then after a while it sort of took its shape because people were like country music or this, and so
Mm.
people just started playing that, and despite what I wanted to do.
Wait,
um,
how does that
and
happen?
just like, you got a name like Wonky Tonk, and no one really understands that it's wonky for a reason. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just like you just keep getting stuck in these honky tonks, which is no problem, but like I don't belong in a honky tonk. I don't play country music.
Yeah.
And every time I'm there, everyone's like, "This isn't country, this is rock and roll." It's like, I know. I've been trying to like all right. So just try and just it was kind of like whatever person wanted to come play. It was like, yeah, great, cool. Like you guys want to play? I just want people to play. That's what we're doing. There's a reason. It's a
Yeah.
playground. Like we're playing. But then it just got to be a point that sometimes people play in the wrong ways. It's like this is not my playground. That's not the game I like.
Yeah.
Um and then learning that I could do that with my music and say, no, sorry, find a different playground. And then
Is that hard for
and
you?
then now
Is that hard for you
now it was.
to confront
It
those kind of
was.
situations? Yeah.
It was until I understood music not as myself, but as like I just call them my angels. So they're like my babies. And so it's when it's not like it's not ego, like this is not what I want to do. It's more like what's the best environment for these babies to live in,
Mm.
and some babies need different things, and I think that's when people come around and instruments or ideas, it's like great, and I feel them and I file them away if they're not right for this moment, because eventually it shows up and it's like, oh shit, I know the exact person for this baby,
Mm.
like this is why they came along. You just have to keep listening long after you first know it. It doesn't have to be right then. Like be here now is being here now, but it doesn't have to mean you have to burn it all up right now too. It's like it's you're learning all the time. So now it's like we have a multitude of setups, but and I'm learning. Like I had a band called The High Life, so it's Wonky Tonk and The High Life, and we're they're a whole palette. It's a whole like Pixies, 90s, grunge, punk rock feel, just by the essence of the way we all just play with each other.
Yeah.
And that's fun, but it's also not all of Wonky Tonk. That's the high life. That's the high life
Mm.
flavor. And then you just like, we've got Homie, and we do this whole other looping, beautiful thing with my partner. And then we have um, breaking patterns with the higher life, which is the high life plus some other people from my old life that bring electronics into it. And it's just like Major Darlings, this whole other world of like meditation, Alan Watts sort of
Mm.
feeling music. And it's just like whatever the moment needs, we've got the palette for it. And then instead of like building myself into this box, just allowing it to be like what the medicine needs, like the spoonful of sugar. Do you need to take it like that, or do you need to take it with food, or do you need to drink a shit ton of water when you do? Like there's just a multitude of things for the way you feel. So right now, I think the last show we played was with Thelma and the Sleaze. If you haven't checked them out, they're amazing.
Hold on.
Amazing.
Thelma and the Sleaze. Hold on. Thelma
Yes.
and the Sleaze. I mean, with a name like that, we have to know what's going on here. They're a rock band from Nashville. Oh
They're
my god,
amazing.
I kind of want to like see what they do. I mean, with the hold on, give me a second.
Yes.
Where? Hold on. Boom. Let me get you centered a little better here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna share this with you so we can all enjoy Thelma and the Sleaze.
I'm so excited.
I am too. Let's go. Thelma and the Sleaze. A play on Thelma and Louise, I'm guessing, but I just love that fucking name. It's so good.
Nashville, Tennessee. We've got Thelma and the Sleaze. Thanks for
They're
coming in today, y'all.
badass and funny.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, why don't y'all take it away?
Oh, and they're all
This
ladies.
first song
Let's
is
go.
called Buying It. It's off
Yeah.
our new record out June 27th called Fuck, Marry, Kill.
They're so good.
That bitch is crazy. I seen it with my own eyes. That girl was gay once. I had her between my thighs. I don't care who's selling it. I'm buying this time.
Lovely Mace.
It's your whole show. Woohoo!
Oh, and she shreds. Hold on, let's hear the shred.
Yeah.
Dude, I love her fucking guitar so much. I
Yeah.
love that like SG cut. Well, it looks like it's
beautiful.
custom. Some kind of fucking custom made fucking beauty. That's so awesome. These guys do fucking rip. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for turning us on. If anybody is interested in Thelma and the Sleaze, let me drop this in chat so they can. Let me drop their website in chat so people can get some love. I loved her line. What'd she say? She said she was gay once because I had her between my knees. I was just like, yeah. Let's go. That is.
I know that's the line that got me too. It's perfect.
Hell yeah. There you go. All right, guys, go and give some love to Thelma and the Sleaze. Oh, look at these guys! Wow, they're just doing it too. They're like in the shit.
Yeah, they're amazing.
And they're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're playing some cool ass places too. Right on, right on. So, who are you moving to? Here, let me stop sharing this. Who are you moving to Texas with?
Father Novice.
Oh, Father Novice is in the chat. Okay, Father Novice. Hi. Nice. So you guys are going, and you guys, and you guys work together musically as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Me
too. I'm excited.
So is that who you did your latest video with, or is that because wasn't it a collaboration, or am I just making that up in my head?
The coward video, is that what you're talking about, or a different video? Which latest video?
No, the one that you wanted to premiere here.
Yeah, coward.
Okay.
Coward is from that was my friend Rich, who we've done a lot of music videos. We did Wonk On and Suitors and Box of My Love. that you played in the intro. Thank you very much.
Of course.
So that was a collaboration with Rich and I in Virginia, and then it's featuring a bunch of people. Like, this is another band you should check out someday. It's called Shagwolf. Shagwolf.
Shagwolf.
Yeah.
Damn, look, you just turned
Yeah.
me on today. Shagwolf. I'm just Googling.
And it's WUF. Shagwolf.
Oh, WUF.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
some
those
lady.
are all, there's Sally Rose and Pablo, who are in that music video with me, and so yeah, we did like a visual collaboration for sure.
Well, I'm excited for it. Okay, here's Shagwolf. Let me just get a look at these guys. Let me just take a look at these people here. I gotta know. I have that. Oh man, these guys look awesome. Hold on, I love this
They're
picture.
amazing.
Look at
I
this
look
picture.
up for people like Tim Barry a lot. Yeah, exactly. They're rock and roll. She's a kickboxer and a kickboxing instructor. They're badass.
What the fuck? She'll fuck you up too.
Yeah,
That's
she
dope.
will.
I love that. I love it when they can rock and fuck you up at the same time. That's dope.
They're badass.
Is she
They're super rock and roll.
is she the front person?
She is. They're all pretty front, but I mean, look at her on the ground with that guitar.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like she's fucking badass.
Wow, what a rocker. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Do you I've never
Yeah.
really seen you perform like in a live setting. Are you pretty stationary or do you jump around a lot? Or are you
When I'm in the right when I'm with the right people in the right crowd, I'll move around. But it still has been. I have a hard time because the sound is always bad. I'm learning to. The next thing is I'm learning how to get in-ear monitors, because
Yo.
if you move around, it's all gone, and then I'm lost, and then it's all over.
Yeah. Especially if you're working with a sound guy with a shit monitors and doesn't have a good ear. Oh god, that's always a nightmare.
Right? Plus a bad attitude, then it's over.
Oh my god! Like, why are you even doing this? Like, why are you here right now? I always get the sense of like failed musician. You know what I mean? Like and then it's like the good sound guys is are the people who are like just like good in life, you know. I mean, they don't have to necessarily like have all their shit together, but they're like good with what they're doing, you know what I mean? Because I feel like when you get a bad sound guy, they're either just were there because like they were the only one that was there that kind of knows how to do things, or like they're just like, I gotta do this for the money and you know, so
Right.
fuck dude and fuck these guys and fuck the world, like having that shit attitude. Like, oh man, I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. I don't like, I always, that's the thing. People need to realize is like, always give the love and respect to the sound guy, right? If they deserve it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't
Right.
deserve it, I try to be like, all right, let's just stay positive. But sometimes you just get such an asshole that you just gotta be like, go fuck yourself. I can't stand it. I hate bad sound. It just bothers me. There's there's a room here in Toledo that it's a bar, and it's just no matter what they do, no matter what kind of sound treatment they do, sound guys give me diarrhea. That's fair. Yeah, they do literally. It literally hits the brown note when you're fucking when it's just bad sound. There's just this room here in Toledo where like no matter what they do, no matter what kind of sound treatment they have, it's just sounds like dog dick. It like the highs are piercing, the bass is almost non-existent, and it's just like this. It's like a tweeter is like 2 inches from your ear, and it's just the highs are just cranked the fucking all the way up, all the way to 11. I'm just like your ears want to bleed every time. And so I don't go there. I mean, I don't go to a lot of live music anymore. I just don't. I just don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I don't do anything.
Hey, me neither. Me neither.
Oh,
It's because it's all feels like that, you know. Where you'll go where that's where I'm gonna come to Toledo and I'll find the place you need to go. because
Okay.
I'm not messing around with all the other stuff anymore because it's daunting. Like
Mm.
you just went on that whole rant about the sound man, and I feel so much empathy, but also so much affirmation because I'm always ranting about it because it's like, hey man, like you're the conduit here. We're teammates right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're doing this together, and you're making this hell. Like and this is like I get to come out here and play like we don't do this every single day, and I
Mhm.
know you do, but I'm not treating you this way, and you shouldn't treat me this way, and it
Yeah.
hurts. But there are some places that are really there are some places that just hold the space, you know. For example, Utopia Fest
You
in
took.
Texas
Fuck you, Brian.
it's amazing.
Fuck it, Brian.
Exactly.
Utopia
We
Fest.
have a new guy, we have a new guy named Wayne. That's our new fuck you
Oh
Wayne.
yeah. Fuck you,
It's
Wayne.
a whole noon. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Uh, what? So
But yeah, Utopia Fest.
yeah,
Like they're just places. There's places like I know we're not really talking about music and all the things. We're just talking life, which I love. But like you're holding this space on the internet for this moment for all the people hanging out.
we can
Like
talk
thank
music.
you.
I'm down to talk
No,
music.
no, I'm just saying, like, in because we're talking about like sound and
Yeah,
music,
yeah, yeah.
but
Totally.
just holding the space for real shit to happen. And
Mm.
it's hard because like I said, like things like Wonky Tonk, you have to chew. Takes time. This
Mm.
kind of space that you're holding takes time. It takes 8 years of podcast time and 3 years of twitching, right?
Yeah.
Like it takes time and energy, and so then you find, like, for me, Utopia Fest is in Utopia, Texas, of all places.
Utopia.
And this is another thing, is it's next to a ranch called the Wonkin Tonkin Ranch.
Let's
No joke.
go. That's tight. That is tight.
So good. But they hold the space, the sound people, everyone, they hold the space, and everything that could be work, they turn into play.
Wow.
So if it's sound check or rolling up the chords and switching over the bands, like that is part of the art. That's part of the show. Let's play all of it. Somebody's gonna love doing that. Like
Yeah.
we don't have to put a bunch of glitter on shit, but we can make things fun.
Yeah.
It's like, and so we do it for each other. And I know there's got to be a place in Toledo, because you think about places like Iceland and the music that comes out of there. It's because it's dark and they have nothing else to do. And
Yeah.
Toledo fucking sucks. So,
It does.
in the winter, especially, just
It
like not
does.
all in general, but as like a flat sort of. We
No,
don't,
no,
the
it sucks.
Midwest, we just don't have a lot going on,
Yeah.
unless we're making it. So we have to
It's true.
make it.
It's true.
I'm gonna find the underground.
There's
It's something.
there's cool there's actually this art collective where they do it's like a it's like a house. They only do it in their house
Good.
in this cool part of town, and like you got to be invited, and it's sort of like a collective. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe Reina knows. If Reina, do you know what I'm talking about? Will you tell me what I'm talking about? My wife, she has to tell me what I'm talking about most of the time. Uh, okay. She doesn't know either. She don't know what I'm talking about. But it's cool, like I know there's cool pockets and there's cool people here. And Toledo's not all that bad. And honestly, for a cheap place to live and bring up my son and stuff, like it's not a terrible place to be. It's just it lacks stuff to do. And maybe, yeah, Reina loves Toledo. She's from San Diego, California, and she thinks Toledo is the best thing ever. And I'm just like, okay, well,
I love that. I
I-
won't-
I'm
That's
just,
magic right there.
it's okay. But I also think you're right. You gotta sort of, it is what you make of it, and that's the people who advocate for Toledo say that all the time. They're just like, man, it's what you make of it. And there is things to do, for especially family stuff to do, especially in the summer. It livens up around here. But I don't know. I guess I just gotten to that point in my life where I just don't care to go do anything. I just want to. I don't want to even, like I don't want to go places. I just want to be here. And if I have to like make music, I don't want to go somewhere to make music. I want to like just be here to make music. And that's what's so great about Twitch is like I if I wanted to, like I could just grab my guitar and play music and hang out with chat and just, and laugh and do that stuff. It's not like I don't have that option to go do that in the real world where I could just show up at a coffee shop and I'm just gonna sit there, talk shit, play songs and have conversations with people in the crowd. It doesn't work like that. But like here I can do that in my own little world. I can make that happen and it's fun and we have fun and everybody's doing their thing. So I don't know. It is what you make it. I think I just relate Toledo too much to my past, my pre-California life. It was like, because it wasn't the greatest. It was just me and drugs and just be in debauchery and ridiculous, which I mean, it didn't stop when I moved to San Diego. I thought I was going to go start a whole new life and it was all going to be different. But I mean, like quickly it became apparent that I brought all of my problems with me. So it was just, can't run from your problems. You got to like face that shit. And luckily, that was the thing about San Diego, that I was able to face a lot of the problems. But then coming back to Toledo, I was able to really get a hold of it and really understand what it was that that made me tick and get a really good handle on it. Because at this point in my life, like I'm pretty even keeled, and that hasn't been my whole life. It's always been like one extreme to another. So to sit here and like, it sounds like someone's got to go out up in this joint. Oh yeah, sounds like someone's got to go out up in this joint. Sure. I thought you were talking about weed. I mean, maybe we are. Maybe we were all talking about weed. Anyways, I mean, where you're at now, has that always been where you lived? I know you're in Kentucky, but are you in Louisville? Is that where you're at?
No, I'm in Newport, Kentucky right now, which is northern Kentucky.
Oh wait,
Louisville's
you're
more real Kentucky.
yeah, you're right. You're right over the river, right? Like Cincinnati's right there. Okay, I remember now.
Yep.
I remember.
Exactly.
And that's where you grew up?
It is. It
Cool.
is. And I think I'm a little bit like you. Like, well, it doesn't remind me of my past here, but I do know one of my first memories of being a human being was like, I do not belong here. This is like, and it's not a bad place at all. It's a beautiful place, lots of cool things going on, but it's just like it's not for me.
It's not your jam.
It's not my jam, and it's really hard because my whole family's here, and it's totally their jam, or they think it is at least. And
This is the greatest
I'm
place
such
on
a
earth.
family person. I know. I'm such a family person, and they're not going to come to me in all these random places. So I come here, and then I get stuck. I get stuck because everybody needs something, and then you're just like, oh shit, I gotta go. I gotta go again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm in Northern Kentucky right now. We're getting ready to move to West Virginia, Thomas, West Virginia,
Oh,
for
okay.
a music residency at this place called the Purple Fiddle. And
Oh,
then
that is rad. What does that entail?
super cool. Well, this guy is amazing, and the Purple Fiddle is a pretty darn cool multi-genre, small town, legendary venue. It's a pretty cool spot. Like last time I played there, I played with Gangsta Grass. Do you know who they are?
No, I don't know Gangsta
Someday,
Grass.
Gangsta Grass. So it's a wild place, but. So the Purple Fiddle we get to live above it and play once a week. And this guy just lets us, John, he lets us do that because he loves music so much and gives you the space to just create. So it's like that there are no pressures, just freaking make music. And been waiting to do that for a while.
That
'Cause
I'm sorry, please finish.
no worries. I think part of what we're gonna do there is explore. We're exploring music licensing and sort of watching Netflix and then writing a bunch of songs to put into the licensing pot and just
Mm,
feeling where we can go there because live music isn't really cutting it for us. And someplace like the Purple Fiddle is awesome because you get to play every week, and that's awesome, and it's held, and we're doing it during the dinner times. I think we have all these ideas, but maybe during the dinner shows it's called date night, and it's a whole other thing, you know. But it's a cool space, and I'm excited to see what happens because there are no rules for us except for you're in the space to create. So we're just gonna create and see maybe a jazz like set comes out next Wednesday, and then the next one it's a metal set, and the next one we're just like stripped down bluegrass because we can do that.
yeah.
And no one cares. They're not coming to see Wonky Tonk. They're showing up on a Wednesday because it's dinner and we get to just do what we want and see how it works.
Yeah. That's really cool.
It's exciting.
So
Yeah.
I fucking love that. So you're gonna go and live above the is it a it's a cafe. It's a cafe that serves, but oh, Greenski. Okay. Wow. Greenski's played there. Wait, no. Two bands, Greenski, Bluegrass, and the Abbott Brothers. What? This must be an old
Yep.
one.
It was old, but there's been all kinds of stuff. It's a legendary spot.
I've never
Just
heard of it, but that's really amazing.
yeah.
So how did you end up landing that? How did you, I mean, is that something that you reach out or did that come to you? Like, how did that work?
You know, I've played the Purple Fiddle over the last probably maybe 4 or 5 times over the last 6 or 7 years.
Mm,
And I remember the fella John telling me about this sweet deal that he does for the residency, and I remember I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't have time. I don't have I like that sounds great, but I'm never gonna be around long enough for that to be a thing.
yeah.
and then I'm just trying to work through this transition of moving from Ecuador to ground through COVID times, through grandma's death, through like
Mm,
finding your feet again, and then figuring out that what I was doing isn't working anymore because I'm not the same and the world's not the same. But what are we going to do? I don't know. What's the middle ground? And I was like, this guy, I have this memory of this fella that said he has a place that will just like let us play music. Let me see if it still exists. And it still existed. So I reached out and
wow.
he said, yeah. So we're spending our winter spring there figuring out our shit. So
That's so
before
cool.
we go to Texas. So I'm excited. It'll be really fun because it's no bars, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna be everyone and everything and figure out who we are.
Yeah, no shit. And I like that you're like, you got a goal set in mind. Like, I want to go and work on sync and like trying to get licensing and stuff and create music that'll work for that, but also you get to express yourself in this really unique spot where you get to play and you also live there. So you're like going to live and breathe art literally uh
Please God.
because you can. But I mean that's beautiful that this career that you've chosen, however you want to define it, has led you to another just really interesting and cool place. And that's part of what I love about, being involved in the arts is just that if you stick with it and you lean into it, you just get to experience like the most amazing things, like the most unique, amazing experiences that you would never ever just experience it other than, you know, um, if you weren't doing it, like when people go on vacation, like, so, I mean, I look at when I go do tours and stuff, like I look at it as a vacation, even though it's like hard work. And like when I get home, my brain is mush. But for me, it's like a step out of the everyday thing that I'm doing. And I know this is necessarily moving Dutchman. Wait, hello, good to see you, my friend. It's just like another way of I don't know, you step out of the drudgery of your everyday living. Hi, lovely people. Every now and then we need to experience some wonky tonk talk. Good for the soul. I agree, Moving Dutchman. I agree. Thank you for being here, my friend. It's good to see you. Welcome in. So then you're going out to Texas, and what do you hope to accomplish in Texas?
Oh man. Well, I met some people. I met some people there that play music for the same reasons I play music. That we just I was even remembering it's a place called The Lodge, and there are no TVs. Everyone lives in an RV, and we play music under this hangar from sun up to sundown every single day. And then we go to town and someone has a show and we play that show, and then someone has a show down the street. So on our breaks, we go down to their show and play with them, and on their breaks, they come up and play with us, and we just like
Whoa.
don't stop because we have so much fun. Because it's like our playing music with each other is a little bit of like this Twitch world, you
Yeah.
know. We're just freaking hanging out, chilling, like playing and having a conversation, and it's so much fun on the vehicle of music. So it's like my family's there. I'm so excited. So it's just and I also hate the cold. So it's sunshine, friends and music, and like I'm tired of doing anything else. And to have these people and this sort of scenario doesn't come around that often, and who knows how long it'll last. So it's more just like I'll never be this unrooted in my life of just like anything goes. So I'm just going to where the love is and the great incubator, you know, and see what the freaking grows. Because right now it's all shit in a good way. It's all got a lot of nutrients in it, but man, it's muddy, you know.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Oh man, that sounds incredible. That sounds incredible just to go to like a creative place. What's this place called? It sounds like a magical, mystical place.
It is a magical, mystical place. It's a place outside of Houston. It's just a place called Conroe. And there's just a lot of really beautiful people that ended up living there, all being friends. I met them all at Utopia Fest.
Mm. And Utopia Fest, you played it and you just met a bunch of cool people and they're like, come to Conroe.
Yeah, yeah. I met a man named Grandma, and it all started.
A man named Grandma, which is that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm just trying to find some like pictures of Conroe. Like I just
It's
want.
really uninspiring. It's just like
It's an uninspiring little place. How?
it's a sweet little town, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't know all the magic that happens there.
How far from Houston is it?
I think it's like 35, 40 minutes.
Okay, so it could almost be considered a oh Jesus, a psychic reading, Father Novice. I haven't done one in a while. Hold on. So we got down. Oh, you guys got to see Conroe too. So y'all know what's going on here. Look at this. JL Hicks, watch out.
Don't you just see a bunch of cowboys on their horses walking through there?
And by the way, every single car parked out here is an SUV.
Yeah, it's Texas.
Goddamn right. Oh my god.
This is, oh, I know. I'll tell you this cool part about it. I can't remember the exact terms, but something got passed in the local government that they gave all of the bars grants. So it's like, here, we'll give you this amount of money to put in a sound system, and then we'll give you this amount of money to pay musicians as long as you have this amount of live music per month. So
Wow.
they have their own stipend to put. It's not based off of bar sales. It's like the Conroe government was like, here's this money, bring in musicians and just keep it going. There's even a parking sign in front of one of the places that's filled with stickers. And one of the city people tried to come with a with a big old truck and take it down. And this man walked out who owns the venue and was like, "What are you doing? That's my sign." And those people, this is memorabilia. And they took it into like the local government and had it stay. It's been like a whole, just like a small weird town that totally is supporting us.
Wow.
I haven't even looked at any pictures of Conrail. Like,
Oh, the Heritage Museum. There you go.
perfect.
Let's get some. That looks like some kind of municipal building. And there's the high school. That's where you
Right?
get your
It's
learning done.
very,
Oh, look at that.
look how magical it looks. Not very magical.
But I mean, oh, this is part of the fucking Texas flag. Fuck yes, Texas. I love it. Hell yeah! It's like if we're gonna show pictures of our town, you're gonna see the flag too, motherfucker.
Why not?
Why not, man? There's a weird thing where I don't know what it is. I know America is a weird place, and it has its problems, but there's just been such an anti-American sentiment, and I know that America's done shit, and it's we do horrible things all the time to other nations and our own citizens even, but there's never been a place where when you look at it from the aspect of like art and music, I feel like there's never been a place like this before where you let a bunch of people have the freedom to express themselves the way they want to, and not all the time, like there a lot of people have fought to get to the point where we could express ourselves the way we want to, but it was something that happened, and we were able to accomplish that. There's never been a place that's produced such beautiful art, such amazing music, such just incredible people, and to sit here and just say that there's nothing good about this place is just it's disingenuous, and I don't care for it. And so when I hear people saying like the American flag is offensive to them, and it's like, how, I don't know how that happened, but it is. I don't know. I don't know. It's sad, but whatever. I think the world and this country in particular is in a weird spot, and hopefully we can find our way out of it. What do you think is causing all this anti-American sentiment?
The internet.
The internet. You're right. You're right. You're fucking right. It's the fucking internet. It got us all fucking dicked up in the head, man. It really has. It really has. No, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's, but for real, I think it's a lot of, it's shadow work, baby. Like, what's happening right now is not inclusion. It's everyone is just like, man, this is I love, this is going a whole different direction, but like I love human beings. I love human beings, and I think that our bodies are an incredible organism and machine. We create some of the most gorgeous things in the whole entire world. Community, when it's working, is incredible. Conversations and connections, all of it. And I remember even just like growing up and being a young girl and being like, I like boys and I like girls. And I wasn't allowed to do that. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to do it. If I did that, and I got more backlash from the LGBT community, like, so mean. The meanest people of all time is like, you can't do that. You're not one of us. You're a poser. And it's like, when we're divided like that, when we're saying, respect my identity, respect who I am, what I believe, what I'm doing, and also I don't respect you and what you're, it's like, it can't work. And so when I say the internet, it's because we don't get to listen to each other on the internet. Like, it's all happening, but to be in the same space and feel, or even this kind of same space, is the internet, but it's a special space on the internet where like you're listening, and when you're talking, I'm listening, and then there are a bunch of people listening and talking as well, and somehow we're all still hearing each other. And that is I think that's where it's at. It's just like if something makes you uncomfortable, it's like, man, when it happens to me, I'm like, what is my issue? You
Yeah.
know, like something about this is triggering, or I know it for on the low key scale. I can't watch music. I can't, like, especially people are like, did you see that interview with so and so? And I'm just like, I get almost angry. I get
Wow.
sad and I get angry. And it's like I don't look at music. I don't listen to music. I don't listen about people that play music. Like it hurts me. I love it on the scale of playing music with people as a conversation, and I love it as a sharing space and sort of like a church communal sort of thing.
Yeah.
But music and the industry, especially, and the way people were like given it, is really triggering, and I know it, and I get really, like, I can feel it almost like a fire, and I know it's not good because, well, it doesn't feel good, and it like almost pushes me back, and it pushes anything good away from me in those moments. And I'm like, I could go fuck the music industry, fuck this, fuck that musician did, and I have been that person, but now I feel that and I go, damn, Jasmine, like, we really need to figure that shit out because this is a lot of wasted energy and you're missing out on cool shit. Like,
Yeah.
what is that in myself? I still have no idea. I'm not any closer except for that I'm not so fiery about it and I'm trying to listen more and more, because one day I'm going to fucking love it again.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to love it in a different way. But until then, it's like, so I know that, so I just stay away. And it's like sometimes to give myself that, it's like, yeah, I go off the internet or I don't go to shows because it hurts me. And I will someday because I'm not shutting it off. I'm just keeping it away until I can figure out what it is that hurts. So then I can give that attention.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's happening. It's like the American flag is offensive, or just any kind of, not pride, but knowing where you're from.
Yeah.
Any roots. It's hard right now to know where you're from, where anywhere you're from is just poison. We're not allowed to be from anywhere or proud of heritage. Or I mean, I even got ripped a whole new one. My grandma is super, was, and she's in heaven wherever she is, but she is totally into our Cherokee heritage and not in a my Cherokee, I don't know. She went down the whole line, has made all these beautiful pictures. We sewed a bunch of cool out, like, moccasins and shawls, and were in all these powwows when I was growing up and dancing and singing medicine songs and all kinds of shit. And you've seen me. I have these crayons that are face paint crayons, and I put hearts all over my face and stuff. And I got ripped 7 new ones for being a white girl misappropriating all kinds of shit. And then it's like, I understand that it can be uncomfortable, but at the same time, I'm always painting my face with flowers and hearts with these crayons. And also, this is something that's in my blood big time that I grew up with anyhow, and I'm not using it in any other way, but it made me really uncomfortable. Like, the fire that came out of this person against me for doing that is just like, I'm not. Are you angry at all the kids that go to fairs and get clouds and sunshines?
Yes. Yes, they
It's
are.
like, we're not. It's like, well, then who is allowed to, or what are the rules, or why are you so angry, and why can't we have conversations about this? Because your feelings are also valid, but like, I can't hear you when you're screaming.
Right.
Like, boy. So it's hard, but the internet keeps us away from each other. We get in our silos of our own opinions, and it's there isn't listening. You're not stuck in a room having to feel through being uncomfortable and having real life conversations of just like, this makes me angry. Why? Okay, interesting. And just listening instead of, well, you're wrong. It's like,
Right.
who's wrong? Who's wrong? Who's right? We don't fucking know shit.
Right. And not only are you wrong, but you're a terrible person for being wrong. Like
Yeah,
you're
right.
you're evil and somehow immoral. just your mere existence is evil and immoral, and it's like, ooh, well, where do we go from here?
Right?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Is this idea that no one's listening? Everyone's just shouting, like Twitter, or Facebook, whatever it is. Everybody's just shouting into this void, and yeah, nobody's listening. No one has real empathy. No one really cares. And as the internet becomes more prevalent in our lives, and as it becomes more, we become more reliant on it. It's just like we're so disconnected from the human touch. Really, I mean, it's just we're just further and furthering ourselves. And you said something else too that caught my ear, where you're like the shadow, like the shadows controlling stuff. I do feel like a lot of what's happening is by design. Whether you want to say it's the government or it's corporate overlords of the government, because at this point I don't think that we're really much of a democracy or a republic. It seems more like an oligarchy, and it does seem to, the things that are being done right now, like keeping people mad at each other, is beneficial to people who are in control, and whether it's by design or not, it is beneficial to rule over people when they're divided rather than when they're one unit, like when they're together as one, when they do have pride in where they come from, and they are in touch with their roots, and they know when they love, what they come from and their community. And it's easier to sort of make rules and make laws and slowly whittle away at these freedoms that were, supposed to be, innate when you were born in this country. I mean, it just feels like it is. I'm not trying to say it is or not, but it feels like it. It's weird when you see, like on Twitter, there'll be a lot of people you'll see the same message over and over again by different users, but it's the same exact message. And it's like, you're telling me that that's not on purpose. You're telling me that that's not by design, whether it's, a pre-programmed bot or whatever it is. It just feels like this is very beneficial for people the ruling class, to sort of get through any kind of policies that they want and to get there. Now, I'm not trying to go down the road of politics, but it just feels like that to me. And Father Novice says it is by design. And to the folks who are always angry about, the social issues going on, and I feel bad for those people, because it seems like they're the most unhappy people that has ever existed. And that's sad that, like, you're out there, fighting for something that you believe in, whatever it is, whatever social issue that you're fighting for, it's like you really believe in, but you're very miserable while you're doing it. It feels like you should love what you do, and it feels like you should be, filled with passion when you do it. And I mean, yeah, there's passion and there's definitely some fuel there, but it seems to be that the people who are the loudest about these issues are like the most miserable people. And I just don't know how you could live like that. It's like, it just doesn't make sense to me that so many miserable people want to, like, just stay angry and stay miserable and stay in that space where you can't function without, I mean, everything. Like we have a friend, that sees everything through the lens of white supremacy, and that they actually said that. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I know that being white and it has its drawbacks or whatever, but like, to sit there and see the world through that lens only is exhausting. And like, how happy are you if you're constantly seeing things as oppression? Like everybody's being oppressed. It's like, yeah, we're all being fucking oppressed. We all are at this moment, especially. We're all fucking paying, $5 a gallon for this fucking shit that we're supposedly is killing the earth. And everyone's fighting for it, and yet you also have these weird people on TV saying that we got to stop using that stuff, but yet we're still using it, and we're using it more than ever. And like there's just so many conflicting ideas that it seems that people are just. I mean, it's exhausting to have to like sit there and see everything through that lens when you really we should just be looking at everybody with love and like not even tolerance. I don't even think tolerance is the right word for it. It's like we should be looking at people with love and acceptance. It's like we don't have to agree, but I can accept you for your ideas. And some ideas you're going to hate and you're going to be like, those are just bad ideas. But that's the great thing about the freedom of expression and the freedom of being able to say the things that you want to say is that we could sort of combat these terrible ideas with ideas that we can all agree on that are good, whatever that means. So I don't know. It's a weird time. And when you're sitting there and hating the place you're from because of I saw this interview where there was this Latino kid, and it was one of those situations where they like, where the American flag was making these kids. I think it was UC Davis, I think it was, and this Latino kid was the head of this, this group, this club or whatever that was leading the way, and they replaced the American flag. I don't even know what flag it was. It might have been like the LGBTQ flag or whatever. But he was sitting there. The guy who was interviewing was like, what's bad about America? And he sort of goes through it, and he's like, people are sold this idea of the American dream, the American dream. And I know there's some arguments against that, especially where we're at now in this culture and environment and economy. But he was a Latino kid, and the guy pushed forward, and he was just like, so what did your parents do? And they came here from Mexico, and they came here, and he was saying, it's like, wow, that's interesting. Your parents came here to experience the American dream, and you're here at UC Davis, which is a pretty good school. The UC schools are really good schools in California. And and you're here in college, and don't you think that that's kind of something that they wanted to accomplish, that their kids are Moving Dutchman? Thank you so much for that other sub. Moving Dutchman, you're on a roll. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So he was like, so do you have any siblings? And the kid was like, yeah. And he was like, how are they doing in life? He's like, oh, he's doing great. He makes tons of money and all this stuff. And it was like, in this moment, you see this kid, it was completely oblivious to the idea that like what he's saying is exactly what he thinks is dead or think is racist or thinks is, oppressive. But yet his parents were able to come here. Your brother is massively successful, and you're here at one of the best schools in the country, and yet you're sitting here saying how oppressed you are and how oppressed the people that go to your school are, but you're fulfilling like an extremely privileged role in this society. So it's just a very backwards idea, I think, that is being, again, feels like it's being programmed into people by design. I don't know. I just ranted that all out of me, but I'm not trying to go into politics here, but because that's just fruitless. But it is political, but it is sort of like the soul of our country at some point. You know what I mean? It's more than just like a political thing. I think it's more of like the essence of what it is to be an American, and then to sit here and be like it's all bad, and just dismiss it and just be like, nah, that's stupid. But I don't know. How does that fall in your ears? Like, what is your thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like this is exactly what the song Coward is about.
Let's go. Great transition. Great transition. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Tell us more about it and how it relates.
For real, I mean, the Coward song is you are a child, you can't look at yourself. You are a child taking it out on everyone else. And this, so it's like figure your shit out and stop taking your shit out on me.
Wow.
This I mean, they're very colloquial terms, but I try to translate these big ideas into and big feelings into that, and the whole idea is, like, everyone's angry because no one can help them love themselves. This is not helping me love myself. This is not helping my life. This doctor was supposed to help me. This person was supposed to help me. And you didn't do it. It's like, okay, guess what? You're you. You're you. How have you helped yourself? And I mean, even some of the things like for me figuring out health problems, I've gotten so angry at Western medicine. Um, so angry, and but it also has led me down the path of learning about myself and taking that into my own not my own hands, but educating myself better so I can then tell doctors when I go in, I here is language that you will understand, translate that for me and give me what I need, you know,
Yeah.
because they're never going to know what's wrong with you. Can't unless you have a family doctor like Little House on the Prairie or medicine Dr. Quinn medicine woman, you know, like these people don't know you. They don't have time to know you. Do you have time to know everybody else? Do you even know like anyone except for the people you live with? Or even then sometimes it's just like how are we supposed to save each other or anything else? And of course we're getting angry because nothing's working. We're getting angry at everybody else, but we're not really doing so much about ourselves. And it's like those little things like not eating sugar, right? There's little tiny moments that are so fucking hard, and you can get angry. Or now I'm going to get angry that the pills aren't working to do the thing that I can't do because I won't do it for myself, and fuck these doctors and fuck these people and take the money and doing the stuff. And it's like, yeah, and you could also help yourself. We're in an environment it's really hard to help yourself, but at the same time sometimes it's just about listening. If you can listen beyond the like reactions, you can maybe find out why you've been doing particular things or why you're not doing them, and you can get over it. It's like one of the reasons I get still triggered about something like just music and the music industry, and I know it's within me, so I'm just like redefining what music is to me and who I am and what my relationship is to it. So eventually, not because I want to love music like I did, but because to be triggered by it is way too much energy and nobody else is going to fix that, you know? It's like, so this song is just about these parts of everybody. And it was incredible because there's a lady in my life and she did not like me and I did not like her, and it was all based on lies and bullshit. But she told me, figure your shit out when I was younger. And I was so appalled. I was like, figure my shit out. You're the one in all of the whole freaking house of lies. Figure my shit out. But then I was like, yeah, figure my shit out because what am I doing anywhere near you people? You know? And it's like, thanks for telling me. It's
Yeah.
because I've been working on it. Because if I'm in this bad position, I need to find all the reasons I did that to myself.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all conditional and also all programmed, but I also can listen or not listen. It's kind of part of the reason my mom got in trouble. She got backed into a corner by attacks and bullies and terrible things, and it pushed her to an edge, and then she said a mean thing, and then she got in trouble.
Oh.
But she could have very well not said the mean thing, and not that doesn't mean that she should have taken it, but also she could have figured out and learned different, not even coping, but processing of what the fuck's going on and how do you remove yourself or how do you ask for help or whatever instead of just fighting fire with fire. Like that's a choice. And we think because we're shit on and since we're all so oppressed, like anything goes, so it's just getting more brutal. People are doing this to me, fuck it, you know, like I don't know how to love myself, I've been fucked, so I'm gonna fuck everything else, fuck all this, you know, it's all happening to me. So Coward is just, and I wrote Coward years ago now, and it just came out on the Breaking Patterns record in 2022 on Thanksgiving, and we've had this music video finished forever, but there's an arsenal of stuff finished, but it hasn't come to light yet, except for when I reached out to you. I felt it in my life and in the world of just like, man, we got to figure our shit out, because and that we're just increasingly taking it out on each other instead of first look. So it sounds like when whoever said that sounds like somebody's got to go in to go out, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
For real. It's
Yeah.
like we learn about it and then we dance, and then we turned this music video into this like Beastie Boys psychedelic basement just trip of like, because looking at yourself can feel that way. It
Yeah.
can get really heated, but at the same time can get so disoriented.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where you went wrong, you know? Where did you start holding on to resentment and then let it just like fuel everything? It's hard. It's really hard. And it is. I mean, it's dark. It's a dark world out there, but we also can choose otherwise. And you were saying that earlier about love. It's like, and at the very bottom of it all, are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you doing it because you think it will? It's like activists that are angry. They're angry because of all of the things they could and should be angry about, but at the same time, they're fighting from and with anger. And so it often doesn't work. And that's not their fault, but it's like, it's why people like Martin Luther King Jr., like going deep into your center of just being like, yeah, shit's fucked up. But then also we can do this. And it's a whole different feeling than shit's fucked up and we need to fucking do this. Like different. It's different.
Yeah.
And it creates different tides. Like I've gone into doctors, and I know these are menial analogies, but like I have tiny veins in my whole life. They stick me like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, bring in 4 or 5 different nurses, bring in pediatric needles, bust my hands open no matter what I tell them. And these last few times I went in the last few weeks, I've gone really calm and paid attention to the people that have been able to get blood and just been like communicated from a place of love and not attack, and just like, this is where this works. This is what you need to do. I kindly request that you don't do this or this or this. I've been through it before. And I have gotten my blood drawn at least 4 times, and they've only had to stick me once, and they listened
Hey.
and they did the damn thing. And it didn't
Hey.
happenstance or whatever else, but I went into it not like these people were my enemies, but they were people doing a job, and I remembered to take the notes myself of like what did work and what does work and how can I communicate it to these people, and hopefully they'll listen. But it's changed a little bit, at least those few times, of my person, like my center person going into there not afraid and not angry already at them, and asking in the center of myself, and it's worked, you know? So I mean, that's a tiny analogy that can be everything, but figure your shit out, you know? It's like, oh well, I never actually, by the time someone's poked me 7 times, I never pay attention to where they finally got the blood. I'm just like trying to pray my way out of it, you know?
Yeah.
But then I was like, I gotta start paying attention. So now I've got it. It's like I need it. It's right in my swan's wing. My tattoo. It's perfect place. Like right there. Get the bird.
Robbie thinks it's a good analogy. It's a great analogy. It's a great
Thanks,
analogy.
Robbie.
Yeah. I feel like some of what you're saying is breeded in cynicism, and I feel like there is this, that cynicism is kind of a form of cowardice, because it's like forfeiting trying, right? It's like, well, why try if everything sucks? Everything, fuck you, fuck this. It's like, why even try? It's like that when you put yourself, when you just say, when it's easy to give up, I guess, you know what I mean? It's easier just to be like, well, that fucking sucks, so I'm just gonna fucking sit here and eat sugar and drink and say terrible things on the internet to random strangers and spread anger and stuff. Cynicism is a form of cowardice, and yeah, fucking handle your shit, clean your room, clean your house, get your shit
Clean your
together.
mirror.
Clean your clean your mirror. Holy shit, let's go. I think that's a great segue into the video. Are we ready? Are we ready to watch this video? Well, a world premiere here on WSEG TV.
I'm so ready.
I'm ready as well. Okay, I'm just gonna go to that link then. that you sent me, and
Thank you. Thanks for
boom.
doing this.
Oh,
I
of
was
course.
thinking of all the places, there's so many ways you can release shit now, and I'm like, I love you, man, and I love the
Oh,
space you hold and the people that are here, and it's just like, I think this was a perfect place. This is like, can we just watch this video together and talk about shit? Like, so thank you. This is the best gift ever.
oh well. I mean, likewise. I have so much admiration and respect for you and for what you do, and you're fucking, you're not afraid to do things that are different. You're not afraid to do things, just your bravery with art and life. So it's mutual. It's a mutual love, I'll tell you that. And
Thank you.
this is Coward, the video release of Coward from Wonky Tonk and Juan Cosby off of the Breaking Patterns album, which is available now, everybody. So go stream it, and we got the links here for everybody to go and check out Wonky Tonk. So make sure you guys are doing that. And if you're listening on the audio side of this, make sure you guys are in the show notes and clicking on links and stuff. I'll make sure to link the video in the show notes. So please go down, run up those numbers. Let's get this shit done. All right. And I'm also going to put the link. So it's out into the world now. So I'm going to share the link in the chat as well, so you guys can get at it. Run them up, enjoy the music, and let's go in there. I'm going to go actually to a different screen. So we'll be right back, guys. And enjoy Coward.
C-O-W-A-R-D. If you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, figure your shit out and start taking that shit out of me. You are a child, you can't look at yourself. You are a child, taking it out on everybody, everybody, everybody else, everybody else. C-O-W-A-R-D. If you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, figure your shit out. Figure your shit out. Figure your shit out. You are a child, and you can't look at yourself. And you are a child, taking it out on everybody else.
There you go, folks. That was awesome. Mighty, thank you for that gift sub. I appreciate you. That was the world premiere of Coward, and man, that was fucking rad. That is a good song, an awesome video. I love it, and I love that our conversation naturally just drifted into this, and that's just magic. Wonky Tonk, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really, truly appreciate it. As we end here, I've been asking people lately, what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
The best. I love these closing questions. This is good. The best advice.
Was it figure your shit out?
I was gonna say that.
Figure yourself out. Yeah, look at movie touch.
I mean that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
I think the other part is just like it is until it isn't. And then I think that's just a way of putting in impermanence, that it's always changing. And so it is until it isn't, it's good until it's bad until it's good. It's always gonna come out another side. It's up to you if you want to be able to see it. So that part, same way, figure your shit out. I think figure your shit out. It is until it isn't shit. We're making a new song, and part of it is no flower ever said this shit is getting old. Like flowers aren't like, fuck this, man. They're like, all right, what other thing can we grow out of this junk?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, not to be anticlimactic in that, but I'm just gonna say figure your shit out.
That's not anticlimactic. I think that's perfect. I mean, the whole thing just flowed into this moment, so I can appreciate that, and thank you again for coming on here and sharing your art and sharing your beautiful spirit. And Father Novice, thank you for being here too. And I hope that your time at the Purple Fiddle and all that good stuff is hold on, you got a question for a guest. I pulled a card over here for the host. Are you talking about the psychic reading? Is that what you want? Is that what you talk about, Father Novice? We could do a psychic. Okay. He said yes. Yes, motherfucker. Moving Dutchman, another gifted sub, you son of a bitch. Thank you so much. I love you, brother. All right, we'll do a whole thing, but I gotta find the stuff. Hold on. It's give me a second. Let me see. There we go. We'll do it like this. We'll do it in the midst of. We'll do a sound bath. Here we go.
Here we go. Hold on. It's just going through scales. Okay. I wasn't prepared for this, but we will do this. Oh, hey, there it is. We're here now. Let me turn this shit down for a second. Okay. We are going to do a psychic reading for our lovely guest today, Wonky Tonk. Wonky Tonk, do you have a question of the future? Go ahead and ask a question. This is how it works. I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
Oh boy. The question.
What do you want to know about your future?
The future. How hard will it be to not eat sugar?
Okay, let me focus on the future for you. How hard will it be to not eat sugar for Wonky Tonk? Oh, yeah, I'm getting something here. Oh yeah, I'm really feeling it. Oh yeah. It's coming to me. Oh God. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh. The answer is as easy as you make it. That is your future. Thank you.
That's it. That was that's the whole
Thanks.
thing. You're welcome. Wonky Tonk, thank you so much for coming on the show. You are welcome back here anytime for any reason. Please do come back anytime. We love having you. Everybody, please give a round of applause to today's guest, motherfucking Wonky Tonk. Let's go. Let him hear it. Let him hear it, guys. Thank you, Wonky. I'll talk to you soon. Be safe out there. Much love. I'll talk to you later.
I appreciate you.
All right. Have fun. Bye-bye.